Hello, I'm Alicia Mitchell of Candyology Coaching Services. I am the Christian counselor and relationship coach. I am also an ordained minister, wedding officiant, and premarital counselor. I also work with our married couples after the I do's with communication and intimacy skills. I was married for 13 years and didn't realize how important premarital counseling was. Um, Now that I am a counselor myself, I stress it to my clients and make sure that they understand how important it is to do the work in the beginning so that it can last them the lifetime. Only 35% of engaged couples do premarital counseling. Out of that 35%, 80% of those couples that receive the actual 8 to 10 hours of education actually stay married. We here at Candyology Coaching Services want you to be in that 80%. We want you to stay together. So, in our 8 sessions that is required through the state of Texas, um, we require that you go over finances and budgeting. Listen, finances are one of the top things that is always discussed in a marriage, right? Because bills are going to be there whether we like it or not. So it is one thing that we do go over. Do we have a joint checking account? Do we have separate checking accounts and we put our accounts, our money together and then pay bills? Um, do we have our own savings accounts? Do we have investments? Do we do it through our jobs? Do we do it jointly through outside sources? What does the finances of your household look like? So we're going to start, we will build within that session what it's going to look like within your home for finances and budgeting. Family and friends. Now, listen, I am one that will tell my friends, hey, keep everybody out your business. However, you have to have some kind of confidant or someone close to you that when things get tough, because remember, marriage is work, right? So when things happen at your regular job and you need to go and vent and talk to somebody, you try and have that one coworker that you can go to that you know she can keep your secrets, keep how you really feel, give you some wisdom, right? So you can keep your job. Well, we need that same type of friend in your life that would be able to help you keep your marriage. So, what type of friend is that? Is there somebody in your life or in your spouse's life that you both would be okay with you guys talking about your situation with, right? Is it going to be a family member or do we keep that completely separate where family does not know what's going on with you? Or do we just let a friend or two know what's going on? So that is something that we will also discuss. Children and parenting. Now, again, I am the Christian counselor, so I will give some biblical reference towards child raising that the Bible does state, but where do you lie when it comes to discipline, when it comes to taking kids to school? What school? What type of education? Are we talking private school? Are we talking public school? What are we talking about when it comes to the next generation within your home? What are you guys going to be building from when it comes to parenting? Because it is a joint effort, right? And then if you guys are not on the same page, that can also cause conflict. Housework. Now, that can also lead into gender roles. Now, those things can really get heated. So we do try and, take that a little slow so that you really understand what we mean by that. I know for myself, I've been cooking and cleaning and doing things for years, right? But what if your spouse loves to cook or that your spouse has a certain way that they like to clean and you're like, hey, more power to you, right? But you want to also make sure that you both agree on how that's going to work. If you have grown up and all you've seen, ladies, is men taking the trash out, but if he's cooking and cleaning, why can't you take the trash out? That's where those gender roles can kind of play a part in the relationship, right? Um, but it doesn't mean that you do not have to both be included in that housework. Both of you can help wash clothes and put clothes away, and whatever the case may be, especially when things get even more so and you have kids and then there's more laundry, because that's my pet peeve, y'all. We'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that in session. Also, intimacy and sex. Now, listen, intimacy is way different than sex, and we will definitely go into that. Um, but also what the Bible says regarding sex in your marriage. So we will kind of dig into that as well. Those 5 things that I just went over, those are the top 5 reasons that people get divorced. And listen, again, we want you in that 80%. So we were going to go through these things to make sure you truly understand and have that foundation set at the beginning of your relationship. Okay. Faith, morals, values. We're going to go all into all that. Now, listen, just because I'm a Christian counselor does not mean that we will not dig into whatever religious base that you have. If you guys are of 2 different faiths, are we going to intertwine those faiths? Are we going to discuss how that's going to blend for your family? What if there are some values that you have within your relationship that you've grown up with or anything like that? What about those things? How are we going to blend that into this new relationship? All of that matters, right? Communication. Let's say healthy communication, because yelling and screaming and fighting and bickering and arguing, that's not healthy communication. Now, don't get me wrong. Yes, there's going to be a time when you're arguing. Yes, there's going to be a time when you have a disagreement. But are you able to have that disagreement and still be able to fully communicate and be able to really get your point across to each other? Not where you are just fighting, but actually saying something of value or of some meat or some substance. So that's where we're going to dig into healthy communication styles. Conflict resolution. Now, for my gentlemen, I know it's like, hey, once we say, okay, we're good, then that's it. You just close the doors. But for us women, it's like, no, we need to make sure we're really at a good space, a good place, so that we really both are on the same page. So actually resolving conflict and making sure that we're using not only biblical basis of resolving conflict and not letting the day end and you still be angry, you going into the next day and the next day and you still have not resolved anything. No, we're actually going to use what the Bible says and not let anger fester over the next day, right? Okay. Last but not least, you're a team now. You are in this together. However, I will also show you how you have an extra teammate with you, and that's God or Buddha or whoever you serve, right? There is a third person in this team with you. And you having that third person makes all the difference when you allow that third person to come in and help guide you. Definitely will make the difference, right? So we want to make sure that we're not only covering all of these in these 8 sessions, but that even beyond that, if we have to come back for just regular couples counseling, making sure that you are still working on that healthy communication. Um, Remember, you are blending 2 lives together, 2 families together. It is work. Okay. So making sure that you're still doing it cohesively and in love, which is why you guys are coming together in the first place, right? So we just want to make sure that you truly have the best premarital counseling, as well as to offer our officiant services to you. Again, I am an ordained minister, and also able to conduct services for you. So if you would go to our website, which is candyologycs.com, you will see all of our information regarding our prices and what we offer. We even have custom theme weddings. Whatever you need, we are here. Again, my name is Alicia Mitchell, the Christian counselor and relationship coach here at Candyology Coaching Services. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.